Hello, everybody. I'm going to start today with the story of the Stonewall, because I don't think people really realize what that was and what that created. First, you have to know that during that period, the United States was going through a lot of turmoil, and all the minorities were protesting for their rights in our society. It was right after the hippie period, when love and peace was in the air, and gay people felt that they as well deserved to be treated equally. So during that period in the late 60s, in the city, all the gay bars are owned by the mafia, and they would have to give the police kickbacks all the time to not be raided. Well, the Stonewall was a meeting place where all kinds of gay people would meet in the village. There were drag queens, there were bikers, there were effeminate men, it was a very well mixed bar, and it was very popular. And one night, the police raided the Stonewall. And when they would raid the bar, they would come in and they would take the men that looked like business type men and the drag queens and arrest them. And they would put their names in the paper the next day and destroy their lives. Well, at one point, the drag queens had had enough. The police started pulling them out of the bar. The drag queens turned around, pushed the police back on the bar and blockaded the doors and set the bar on fire. With that, gay people from the village, the area around the bar, heard there was something going on and all started congregating around the Stonewall. And the fire department comes, and now they're being pelted with rocks and sticks, so they can't put out the fire because the gay people wanted the police to burn up in the bar. Well, eventually they put the fire out, but after that there were 3 days of riots in the village. And what this did to people was make them realize that gay people aren't a bunch of men that are like women, that are sissies and afraid of everybody and everything. They realized we're going to fight back. Very much like when the Black Panthers came out, an organization of radical black men, and said, if you don't change your ways, white people, we're going to kill you. Well, white people started thinking differently. Well, this started people thinking differently about gay people, that we're not just a bunch of pushovers. And it started the gay liberation movement. I mean, there were organizations before that, but they were not considered of any consequence. Now we had a platform, and that's where it all began. Personally, unfortunately, I feel things haven't changed very much. We've gotten our freedoms, we now can marry, we can adopt children. All of those things are very nice. But society has not viewed us very differently. They viewed us as potential money makers because gay men had the biggest disposable income of anybody in the population, so businesses saw us as somebody they can make money from. So that got us some inroads into respectability. And the only other thing that we got were basically, I don't think, anything else. And what's happened through the years is that the ability for gay people to be genuine, which the gay movement you would think should have started it, never happened because of the way society viewed us. And because of it, there are all these myths about gay people and how suddenly you can become gay or you can turn gay. My first reaction is to that from heterosexual people is, well, when did you become straight? When did you become a heterosexual? And there is no answer to that because you always were. Well, when did you become gay? You never became gay, you always were. You were born that way. But people didn't understand that. It was such an apparition of their idea of sexuality that they thought this couldn't possibly come in an innate or an inborn way. So they were afraid to have gay people around their children, to talk about gay issues, because if you do, you're going to make it more attractive to some boys or some girls, and they'd become gay. Well, this was one of the reasons why Stephen worked. My partner Stephen worked in the beginning. Worked in the elementary schools from from kindergarten to 6th grade, and everybody in the school knew we were a couple. And very cute story. I went to the school to meet him outside one day, and he was teaching. It was a 4th grade class, so these were 9-year-olds, and one little boy saw me standing there, and he comes up to me and he said, "Aren't you Mr. Brown's friend?" And I go, "Yes." He says, "I love Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown is the best teacher." So somehow this child equated me with Steve, and I don't know how he did that. But my point is that Stephen and I put ourselves out there as genuine people to make people think differently about us, to see us as people and not gay people. Well, this was what I would hoped would happen when the gay liberation group started, and people would start to come out and talk about issues and tell their parents and involve the people around them and the people they loved into who they really are and how they feel about things and what motivates them and what makes them love and what makes them hate. But they never did that. So even to this day, gay people are still looked at as different or less than or morally corrupt, when none of that is true. So as a gay person who is woke, I'm going to say, which is now a politically bad word to use, I hope that people realize there are a lot more gay people than people think there are. And I have one of my funny sayings is that if you put 3 men in a room together by themselves, something sexual will happen. To a certain degree, I believe that. In my experience in life, now that I'm 77, I have met so many men who are gay, who have no idea they're gay, but are, how could I put this, are stimulated by other men in ways that they don't understand. And they pawn it off to some other thing like jealousy or something else. And a lot of these men, because things have not changed, a lot of these men in their youth, well, especially in my generation, had gotten married and had children and had lived a lie. And because of it, these are the most homophobic of the homophobes out there, are the people who know they're gay and are hiding. And a lot of them make the laws that we have to follow and live by. And I find it frustrating to know that most of the people I know, the men I know are gay and would never even admit to it or think that it's possible. But it's okay for me to be gay or somebody else to be gay, and they don't realize what an insult that is to gay people. When you hide yourself to somebody who's gay and out, and when I say I'm gay and I'm proud, I'm gay and I'm proud, because I have nothing to hide. My life has been like any other decent, good, moral person in any society. So I have a feeling of equality and acceptance within myself that makes me not apologize for who I am. And all of these gay people still apologize for who they are. And until we can openly discuss how gay people feel about real issues and not something that they'd have to make up a story to exist in their life, about anything in their life, things are not going to change. I thought things would change, actually. I always said back in the 70s, when gay people could raise a generation of children, things will change. And I still believe that to a degree. But now gay people are raising children. And we'll see what happens. But the behavior hasn't changed. And I wonder what these children are going to come away with. They're going to come away with morals, and they're going to be good people, and they're going to be decent people. That's all going to be true. But I wonder what their idea of sexuality is going to be. So we'll see. I hope that it works out fine for everybody. But all of this liberalism now, we've discussed this about LGBTQ plus, whatever that is. I think a lot of young people are just very confused about all this. So I have hope for the future, but at this point, I really have to hope that gay people become less intimidated about who they are and start to understand that in society, we are the people who are the creative, industrious, selfless, genuine people out there who, it's very hard to put, are invisible, and we make the world run. We give people entertainment and joy, and we make happiness in the world around us all the time, and it's never even realized. It's realized that, well, gay people are fun, oh, they're so creative, and they know their feminine side. I have no idea what my feminine side is. I'm a man. I'm a gay man. And this is one of the problems now. Everybody thinks that somehow I am somehow womanish. Doesn't happen. So let's just hope for the future, and I hope that we get something out of these sessions that make people realize that my favorite expression, that gay people are people and not just gay people.